Hey, what's up? It's Fuel Your Life Friday. Let's go. I know we're already a few days into December, but I not only learned something new that I wanted to share, but I also saw an idea that was just too good. But let's start with what I learned. I remember having an advent calendar when I was little. I actually remember a few different ones that my mom had. One involved candles, one involved a little fabric Santa that we could use to kind of mark the days, and one I remember had treats. I don't know if that was an every year thing, but I definitely remember one with candy inside. Anyway, like many, I now do advent calendars for my kids, but I've never really taken the time to learn the history behind the advent calendar. TheCottageJournal.com shared, the Advent season of Christianity is determined by the feast day of St. Andrew, November 30th, with the closest Sunday becoming the first Sunday of Advent. 3 more Sundays follow, each focusing on the upcoming celebration. Preparing for the coming of Christmas has been a seasonal pastime since children first discovered presents under the tree. Now, this whole little tradition got a little bit altered in the 19th century when German Protestants began to mark the days of the Advent either by burning a candle for the day or simply making marks on the walls or doors with a piece of chalk. The first known wooden Advent was made in 1851, but in the early 1900s, printed Advents made their mark, and in 1920, a man named Gerhard Lang began putting the little doors on the Advent calendars with those sweet little treats inside. Interestingly enough, when Gerhard was a little boy, his mother made a calendar with 24 small candies attached to the cardboard, one for each day before Christmas, and thus chocolate Advent calendars. So now that you've got the backstory of Advent calendars, here was the idea that I saw that is just too dang good not to share. It's called the Giving Advent. The Giving Advent is 24 days of giving activities, kind of like 24 days of random acts of kindness. In fact, the same idea kind of goes around on the interwebs with different names such as the Kindness Advent or the Service Advent. I just personally like the name the Giving Advent because I like to give. So here are a couple of things on the Giving Advent calendar that I saw that you can easily adapt and of course make your own. So the first one was give lovingly to others. Of course, this could be something as give a toy to a child in need. The next was give a meal. You could give a meal to a friend, a family member, an elderly neighbor that you know, or simply pay it forward to a stranger or, give a homeless person a hot meal. Give to your community. This can be done with some service actions, picking up trash, volunteering at a local homeless shelter, shoveling the sidewalk or your neighbor's driveway, or just even donating, and maybe it's a monetary donation or maybe it's donating which brings me to the next one, time. Give your time. I love this idea because sometimes we forget how valuable it is to give someone else our time and how much it means to us when someone gives us their time. So maybe you just call someone that you haven't had a conversation with and catch up with them, or maybe you invite someone out to lunch with you. Just give someone your time. And then next, I love this one. Give a smile. Perhaps that day you mindfully smile and say hello to everyone you pass. Or maybe you just send a just thinking of you card to someone in the mail. I mean, I know I still like getting mail, and handwritten letters are still a cool thing. I'm going to tell you, they're still cool to get. There are so many ways that we can easily give this season. We always say it's better to give than receive, and while that's true, we often get fixated on giving material things, which aren't always needed. A warm meal, a smile, to be cared for, to feel like you're part of a community, to be remembered by someone else. Those are all basic things that we as humans appreciate and even desire, and we can mindfully give those to each other. I hope you enjoy learning about the history of the Advent calendar, and I really hope you'll consider being more mindful to the ways that you give this holiday season. I'm back next week with another episode, but until then, remember, every level of life is an opportunity to grow. Be well, my friend.